really like pisses me off when people are like, she's not the face of the league.
Who would be?
What?
The basketball community is in a frenzy following Caitlin Clark's unexpected move of landing a whopping $25 million contract with Nike.
Clark could be breaking another record, this time with an endorsement deal. The Associated Press says Clark will soon be signing an 8-year, $28 million contract with Nike.
In addition to solidifying her status as one of the biggest stars in the sport, her record-breaking contract sent shockwaves.
It's Clark. She fires and goes! She hit it! Wow!
Was utter incredulity. Envy ripples around the league in whispers. Clark's ascent from rookie star to commercial juggernaut is changing the rules for women's basketball. This is a power move, not just a paycheck. Here are some ways that Caitlin astounded everyone both on and off the court. Hold on tight. How Caitlin Clark rewrote WNBA allegiance with her $25 million contract. Caitlin Clark has changed the rules for what it means to be a WNBA star. She signed an incredible $25 million contract with Nike in the first few months of her rookie season, which not only broke the league's footwear contract records, but also exceeded the salaries of some seasoned NBA veterans. For the majority of athletes, just reaching that milestone would get weeks' worth of media attention. However, Caitlin wasn't content to merely write history. She desired to express herself. The following events have nothing to do with money, celebrity, or even the introduction of her own exclusive shoe brand. However, that is enormous in and of itself.
The next signature shoe in the W.
Oh, Caitlin, of course. Yeah, I mean, I know she has some
Like PEs.
Yeah, PEs, little colorways, but you could do that on Nike ID. I mean, the next Caitlin shoe should be the next one, and, my kids will be wearing it.
Her decision after signing the contract was the true shock, and it had nothing to do with her personally. A few days later, Caitlin asked Sophie Cunningham, a teammate, to what seemed to be a modest private Nike gathering in Indianapolis. Sophie thought it might have been a media day, a photo shoot, or just a laid-back company celebration. She was unaware that she would be entering one of the WNBA's most memorable moments. The lights went down. There was silence in the room. After then, a little movie that followed Caitlin's journey from her high school years in Iowa to the raucous, high-pressure WNBA arenas glowed on the enormous screen. The video showed the moments that made her unstoppable, but it also didn't sugarcoat the hardships, the harsh criticism, the unrelenting skeptics, and the mental challenges off the court. Record-breaking crowds, buzzer-beating shots, and the steadfast support of those who remained by her when the commotion became too loud. As the video came to a finish, Nike executives appeared and gave Caitlin a gold-stitched jersey, an honor typically given to sports greats. The room anticipated that she would take ownership of the moment. Rather, with a voice full of quiet determination, Caitlin turned to Sophie. "It's not only for me. This is dedicated to all women who come up, put up a strong fight, and defend their team." The gesture wasn't merely symbolic. Shortly after, a personalized shoebox was displaying a pair of Sophie Cunningham Player Edition trainers in Indiana Fever hues with the phrase, "No backing down," prominently stitched on the heel. However, that package contained something else. An agreement. It was a transaction Caitlin had negotiated as part of her endorsement conditions, not a gift from Nike. She had ensured Sophie's brand deal under the Nike banner by using her power. This was no typical deed of kindness. It was a well-thought-out action that went against the competitive ethos of professional sports. Caitlin's choice was notable in a league where every contract, every amount of TV time, and every drop of public attention are fiercely contested. Rewarding loyalty wasn't the only goal. Its goal was to transform the competitive culture into a supportive one. She had not forgotten those who stood by her side when she faced criticism, who supported her throughout her greatest moments, and who experienced both the victories and the setbacks. Caitlin decided to share hers consciously, shamelessly, and with a quiet power that screams louder than any press release in a world where success frequently requires a solo spotlight. And that leads us to the topic that has been bothering everyone. Why did she add Sophie to the team? Was it sentiment, strategy, or something much more profound that no one had yet discovered? Keep an eye out. Loyalty over exaggeration. Clark's reasoning for selecting Sophie Cunningham. Caitlin Clark wasn't exactly greeted with a parade when she joined the WNBA. She wasn't simply entering a different league. She was entering a storm. Every step she took was captured on camera. Sharks circled the critics. Additionally, she encountered a physicality that verged on hostility on the court. It was the goal of players like Jane Carrington and Angel Reed to undermine her prominence. With words at times, and with physical contact at others. The glare was dazzling, the pressure was constant, and the expectations were high. However, one colleague stood out as her silent protector in the midst of the mayhem. Cunningham, Sophie. Sophie did more than merely play with Clark. She performed for her. It was she who initiated confrontations, took the fouls that could have forced Clark to miss time, and made it very evident to the other players in the league. Sophie would defend her teammate if the referees didn't. Her message was loud enough to be heard from the nosebleeds to the front row, but she didn't go too far in being careless. In many respects, Sophie took on the role as Clark's enforcer, taking the heat to keep Caitlin confined to the rim. That was something Clark never forgot. And she didn't assign the position to a public relations firm or create a safe, practiced retaliation when it came time to recognize that loyalty. This was not advertising. It was intimate. It was about changing the perception of authority and loyalty in women's sports. The league referred to Clark as its golden goose, a player that needed to be protected at all costs. Nike, however, sensed something more profound. Her jump shooting wasn't the only thing they were funding. They were making investments in her narrative, her clout, and her capacity to inspire those within and beyond the arena. Caitlin Clark was more than just someone who filled out statistics. She was an arena filler, a record breaker, and a quiet leader who had the power to upend a whole culture without saying a word. Nike didn't only outbid Adidas, Puma, and Under Armour for her signature because of this. They were crushed. The $25 million deal wasn't merely a wager on her abilities. Her vision was the wager. Off the court, her most unexpected performance was possibly on the horizon. The scene was prepared. Cheers, cameras, and a lot of excitement filling the room. A stunning gold-stitched jersey, a personalized work of art that would have fit in a Hall of Fame exhibit, was presented to Clark by Nike. The audience anticipated that she would put it on, smile for the cameras, and make the event unforgettable. Rather, she paused, held it in her hands, and looked at Sophie Cunningham. "This isn't just for me," she added in a composed yet forceful tone. "This is dedicated to all women who come up, put up a strong fight, and defend their team. Give it time to marinate." Then, in a move that even Sophie was unprepared for, Clark took a box out of a display case. Inside were a pair of specially designed trainers for Sophie Cunningham players, complete with an eye-catching pattern and fever colors. "No backing down" was stitched onto the heel. It was not only a present. Clark wasn't done, but it was a statement. The actual contract that brought Sophie into the Nike family under Caitlin's endorsement umbrella was lying next to the trainers. It wasn't only a cosign or a casual shout-out. This was a calculated move, a conscious choice to use her position to support the teammate who had supported her when the league appeared intent on pushing her boundaries. Furthermore, the room was experiencing more than simply sports history at that moment. It involved observing the real-time evolution of the definition of leadership. This leads us to Sophie's emotional response. How did she react when loyalty resulted in an unexpected gift that changed her life? Continue to observe. Sophie Cunningham's heartfelt surprise at Caitlin Clark's revolutionary Nike decision. That day, Sophie Cunningham did more than just cry. She was blown away. She didn't have the phony shock on her face for the cameras. When someone finally realizes all the things you've been doing quietly without acclaim and decides the world has to see it too, it was that raw, overwhelming moment. This was not what she had anticipated. She wasn't trying to get noticed. Nevertheless, Caitlin Clark made sure she received it. You see, some may ask, why Sophie? Why would the WNBA's biggest rookie, who just signed a record-breaking $25 million Nike contract, use her first significant endorsement opportunity to draw attention to someone else. Friendship isn't the only answer. It's about devotion etched in perspiration, wounds, and silent comprehension. Every superstar wishes they had Sophie as a colleague, but very few do. The person who finds herself in the midst of intense arguments. The person who confronts reporters when they transgress boundaries. The person who takes hits that the cameras don't capture in order to prevent Caitlyn from getting hurt again. You've witnessed it if you've been watching Indiana Fever games this season. Like an undesignated bodyguard, she followed Caitlyn about, warning anyone who ventured to approach her that, if the refs won't step in, she will. Her defense wasn't covert. In order to keep her rookie upright, she occasionally had to slam into opponents and hurl her body into the fray. She became Caitlyn's muscle, her silent enforcer, and her don't mess with my teammate warning in trainers at certain points, which were as obvious as day. Despite this, Sophie never requested a headline, made it a social media sensation, or pushed for recognition. However, Caitlyn noticed it. She witnessed the silent conflicts waged when no one was there, the sacrifices made, and the birds taken on her behalf. She also made the decision that the world would witness it at that Nike event. Caitlyn said, "People talk about the plays I make, but Sophie makes the plays no one sees, in front of teammates, reporters, and brand executives." Then the revelation took place. Fever-colored, custom-made Sophie Cunningham Player Edition trainers with the words, "No backing down" sewn on them. Additionally, a contract was concealed within the box. This was not merely a token present. It was a commercial decision. As part of her agreement, Caitlyn had gotten Sophie to join the Nike family, an unprecedented move in the history of the WNBA. This went beyond a pair of sneakers and two athletes. Rookies frequently land endorsement deals.